The first two parts of this serial has expounded on the efforts of the Minister of State for Education, Chief Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, to the transformation of the nation's basic education subsector. A critical segment of the minister's contribution is the creation of access to quality education for the 9.5 million Almajiris in the country. The commitment of the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan to transform the basic education subsector is legendary and has been applauded nationally and internationally. When President Goodluck Jonathan sought for votes from Nigerians, he declared that he would work towards getting the Almajiris off the streets. Recently, the President commissioned the first Almajiri Model School that was constructed by Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund. Aside the Almajiri schools under construction by TET Fund, are the Almajiri schools under construction by the Universal Basic Education Commission UBEC under the direct supervision of the Minister of State for Education, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike. The Minister of State for Education through UBEC is driving the process to ensure that these less privileged Nigerians have access to quality basic education to help them participate directly in the nation's development efforts. The federal government, through UBEC, hopes to deliver 100 Almajiri schools by June. His first visit was to Sokoto, where he first paid a courtesy visit to the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Saad Abubakar, who was appreciative of the federal government's efforts. He visited two project sites in Sokoto, where he interacted with contractors and consultants.
So issues like this Almajiri are issues that we believe must be eradicated and can only be eradicated through knowledge, through talking to people and holding the issues that we believe are so strong, so very dear to us. And one of those issues is building of these schools. We want to commend the federal government for this initiative.
We record that out of the 10 million of our children who are roaming the streets, 9 million by statistics are Almajiris. And so it's a source of concern for Mr. President and the federal government. And so through UBEC, which is the instrument the federal government is using to build these Almajiri schools, we have felt that in the next 4 years that we are going to build 400 of these Almajiri schools. And that by June this year, by special grace of Almighty Allah, that we will hand over 100 of such schools to the various states. And this will go in a long way to see that we meet the targets of education for all and the rural development goal.
Why do you give them 4.1? Why didn't you give them two go for? Yeah, and what's the expansion? For what I'm seeing here, it's not just an old school that you're expanding. This is a new project.
There is already an existing school by the community.
I agree with you.
Yes.
The point I'm making is that there's nothing wrong in making the schools in this area to be boarding. There's nothing wrong. Because if you want to achieve by them stopping to beg on the streets, they have to keep them in one place. You see, when they finish school, they start going back home again. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
As for Mr. President's promises during the campaigns, we have seen a lot of things have happened to show that he is delivering on his promises. Especially about this Almajiri school. I remember late General Hassan Usman Katsina, Chiroman Katsina. For over 30 years, he was talking about the Almajiris, especially in the north, for 30 years, but nobody listened to him. Successive governments came and went. They couldn't do anything about it. So we thank God we have a government which listens to people in this country this time. So, and it is not an easy thing for somebody to make a promise and fulfill it. Especially with regards to this type of project, the Al-Majri school. I know many people will approach the president and tell him, why bother yourself about these people? But he didn't listen. And we are very happy for that. And I hope Allah will guide him, protect him, and allow him to fulfill all his promises he made to Nigerians. The president wants to transform this country, and I believe he's going to do it.
The Minister of State for Education was also at Mayo Belwa in Adamawa State, where he inspected the Al-Majri project under construction. He was displeased with the level of work done.
February, March, April, when I May.
No, there's a report that we report to the consultants. My chairman fell sick, to the back. So it's not up to...
The question of desertification was a real problem in Nigeria for many decades. Only at this time, in your administration, you are able to tackle the problem. So when I say that the legacy of this country will never forget your contribution. So it will be a history nationwide, the way and manner you have handled this, you have solved this problem. Let me assure you, on behalf of all the traditional rulers, that we shall give you all the necessary support in mobilizing our people to support the idea.
Okay, so is this going to be the boarding school?
We have hostels, staff accommodation.
Let me see the hostel.
Okay. We started in December.
December?
Yes.
December. That's 2 months now.
Yes.
They say that's supposed to complete this when?
By March.
Next month, by March.
You complete it.
God willing, sir.
But are you sure? You sure we can hand over it by June?
Definitely we can hand it over. Yes, by God willing, sir. God willing.
But
So we'll try our best.
not trying your best. No. We'll give you what you want. You have a deadline, and you have in the contract agreement. Is everywhere you indicated that if the failure to complete comes from the contractor, what sanction?
Charging you.
So, why have you not applied it? Because it's not as if he has worked and you're not giving him fund. So the problem is not from us, the problem is from him.
In Daura, the minister visited the project site and the Emir of Daura, Umar Farouk, where the Emir commended the presidential initiative on Al-Majri education.
The toilet, the classroom, and the classroom here. Yeah, this is the playground.
Contractors like you who know what they are doing.
Yeah.
You know, who will not complain of funds.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. We have come to see the new school they are building for you, where you will be sleeping, where you will be staying to learn. It will be better than where you are now. That is why we have come here, to encourage you, the government to support you, so that the place of your learning will be very comfortable for you. That's why you will get us who are coming to you. So thank you very much.
He was also in Niger State, where he went to the project site and visited the governor.
The consultant, I will be back here in next 2 weeks and let me see to what extent this project will go. We have said that by June, this project will be handed over to us for us to give out to the states, because you know the importance of this project to Mr. President. So that people should know that it is not our fault. We have done everything to make sure that I'm sure that the funds is there, the funds are there, so nobody will come and blame the government that there are no funds. And also make sure the funds are given to the contractor, so the contractor will not capitalize on that and begin to delay our project. Please. We're happy that Niger State is giving us the support. There's no problem. Like what we used to have in other areas where when land is being given, you will see that the contractors will not be allowed to go into the land to build. But here, you have made sure that no contractor will have any problem. That we will say that it's your support for this special project.
If you give us 100 schools, it will not solve the problem. But I'm happy that you have done that, because you have laid the foundation. And I'm calling on all the states that are involved, and this is not a problem only of northern states, because there are Almajiris in southwest, there are Almajiris in southeast, and indeed in south-south, and provision must be made for them. They are not to be transported back, but that a provision must be made for them to enjoy this basic education in the environment that they find themselves.
To underscore the importance of the commitment of the federal government to create access to quality basic education for Almajiris, the Minister of State for Education was in Borno State, where he inspected the construction of 2 Almajiri schools. The minister defied the security challenges in the area to visit Almajiri schools under construction in the state.
For about 2 more sons,
so
for you to still be on foundation level.
We commenced fencing, excavation of fencing on the 17th of February.
It's not fair. It's not fair. Fencing is not the major problem. The land has been given to you, and we expect that you know the importance Mr. President attaches to this.
Yes,
so if we are mobilizing in January, and you are still at the foundation level, and when you're supposed to hand over this by June, how can it be possible? January, February, March, April, 4 months, it takes you to the foundation level, and then you have May, June. And so how will you use May, June to finish? The contractor here.
Welcome, sir.
So in the next 1 month, you think you will finish?
So we are expecting to finish the work in the next maybe 2 weeks, because we have already started the plaster.
You can't finish 2 weeks now.
4 weeks. Okay, maybe 3 weeks.
You're the consultant?
Yes, I'm the consultant.
Yeah, but where's the contractor?
This is the
Now, you think that this work can be finished before next 1 week? Next 1 month?
Before next 1 month?
Yes.
Yes, it's possible. It can be finished. Because the aluminium sheet, they are already supplied. It's only the installation, the aluminium sheet.
Well, you try to, because you know that Mr. President is quite passionate about this project, and we believe that by June we should be handing over some of these projects to the state government.
We are about the best state in the